All right, this thing actually just cut off suddenly. Luckily, I noticed relatively soon after it cut off, but I didn't know how much got cut off, but barely anything at all significant. So I'm resuming here. I was talking about this, yeah, accusations of arson, other crazy shit like this. Forget this. I don't need any of this. So we conduct the rebuke process to get wrongdoers out of your life karmically. First, you solidify the facts. Secondly, you verify the facts with the counterparty. Is this true? You deny this? What's your side of the story? In the eyes of witnesses who are watching to see what the fuck the facts really are. Once the facts are certified and established by third-party witnesses acting as substantive jurors of a sort or of a kind, we understand what the facts are. This is the most important first step. What are the facts? I've shared some of the facts, many of the relevant ones, within the last couple of hours. There's many more. I've shared more even with friends who understand even more deeply, and particularly the various aspects of the framework surrounding all this, which have them have an even better understanding of the issues at hand. But a lot of them have been laid out here. A lot. A good amount, that you understand what the deal is, how things look like in this family. It's very sad. It's very sick. Well, after 2.5 months, as I said, my friend Anthony, who's sick of being in the middle of it, says to my mom finally by a text, apparently, look, maybe you want to talk to your son directly because this is getting a little ridiculous. It's 2 months. She would reply back prior, just say things like, oh, I'm not comfortable. I'm not comfortable. Are you fucking out of your mind? You should be embarrassed to ever say that to any human being, let alone to my friends, you idiot. Why would you fucking make a man look bad to his own friends? What kind of imprinting you making in other people's minds? I mean, my friend loves me, and nevertheless, everybody's human. What kind of shit are you putting in their subconscious framework? Wow, people just don't want to be around John, huh? It's always contagious. You're not allowed to do that to people. If fucking you're at fault liably, karmically, for all the ripple effect that you generate from that. It's sick. No responsibility having human being. Disgusting. Fucking hell. But anyway, by Christmas time, now, yesterday was Christmas. Around Christmas, he said this to her, and guess what? Amazing. She writes in, my audience, this has been a long setup, but now we're slowly going to analyze the interaction that I had with my mom, finally, so that we identify who is right and who is wrong. Now, what's the process I'm following? It's the Matthew 18 process, rebuking people. If your brother wrongs you, you try to straighten it out between you and that person privately. If they don't hear you, you get a witness. You get a witness. You bring people from your community because on account of you having been wrong, you go to your friends, you say, that person wronged me, and they go, oh my God, is it true? Let me come in and I'll hear it and verify and be in the middle to mediate, and we'll get to the bottom of this. And you come and you sit down and you have your family meetings and community meetings to fucking work the shit out. Well, other people are there saying what the hell happened and why. And then after that, to apply the moral law, if necessary, to determine, is it true that this person is a wrongdoer? What's wrong? That's offending someone, transgressing against their dignity, missing the mark, not treating people correctly. That's a sin. That's a sin. Hey, Mom, you sin against your son. And then she writes in. So let's enjoy this, everybody. Amazingly stunning. This is Christmas Eve. Hi, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. You think I'm happy? I don't trust you. We'll see. I'm not happy, I'm wary. We'll see what the fuck happens from you. But mind you, first principle we can all agree on and establish is this. This person has not been writing to me for months. I'm not writing to them either, obviously, because I'm mad at them. Control the frame correctly, my friends. Don't let other people gaslight you. If someone did wrong to you, you be the one with dignity. You don't go to them. You don't talk to them. You cut them off from you. But the evil one devil tries to mimic. Remember, so the devil mimics the flip, inversion, and will pretend to be the one who's like, oh, I am the victim, in their fucking wolf in sheep's clothing. Okay? So, here we go. Hi, Merry Christmas. I was trying to offer some food to you since yesterday. Messaging Anthony with no results since he didn't answer me until today. Interesting. Well, let me point something out very interesting, even more interesting than this. You see, Anthony also, furthermore, did provide a little extra information in this particular regard. Let's see what he did send over to me. Oh, that's very interesting. So he sent me this screenshot. That's my mom writing to my friend Anthony. Hi, happy holidays, Anthony. Do you know if John is getting any treatment for his condition? That's a whole other backstory too. What treatment? What condition? I'll explain a little more about what this means, but this is some tricky, slippery, weird, this is some nonsense. Basically, my mom wrote to Anthony many weeks prior, I will not talk to my son until he gets treatment for his condition. Okay? His condition, meaning she's accusing me of having a mental condition. That's called gaslighting. Victimization. Make your son think he's crazy. And now he has to get treatment, you see. Treatment for what? There is no treatment for getting abused, that you're the abuser and the human being is reasonably reacting in anger to how sick you're treating the person. That's not a mental disorder. That's every human's dignity. She proceeds to ask him, also, could you ask him how he is doing? Does he want to come on Christmas? To get food on that day? To come up here on Christmas? Kindly let me know. Does he want to come on Christmas? To fucking sit down with you? After everything that she fucking did? Now, just keep that in mind, audience. Let's go back to the text. Oh, wait, before I go, look at the next line. Also, it would be better to call him today, check if he's okay. I could leave food outside his door if he wants. Do I have my audience shaking their heads and putting their and face palming? What did I say earlier? Oh, but you guys have good memory, don't you? My mom doesn't. She tried leaving me food on my door the prior several days before that incident with the yelling where the police came. It was so offensive to me because it's a further certification of, look how I'm not talking to you. I treat you like a dog. I say, Mom, never treat me like a fucking dog. I'm not a fucking, you don't just put shit on the plate on the floor and you're gonna leave it by my door like I'm a fucking animal. I'm a human being. You want to present food to me, knock on my door, and you fucking hand it to me. Human being to human being. I'm not a fucking thing. Leave food at his door. It's like a fucking, and turn your back on it and walk away. Fuck out of here. And she does it again to Anthony. I already told Anthony it's never acceptable. So he just tells her over and over again, no, he doesn't like it. It's offensive to him. Don't even offer it again. And she just offers it again. It's a mental defect of hers. Everybody would be like, yeah, Lady Barbara, why are you retarded? The man said no. The man said don't ever do that. He never wants that. Why are you still offering it? It's insulting. Everyone's nodding in agreement, obviously, yes. So, what does she then write here to me? I could deliver food to you. At your convenience, I could deliver the food. And trust me, she means putting it at the door. Oh God, everyone's just fucking shaking their head some more. Do we all see how ridiculous it looks? Because of course, unfortunately, I don't feel comfortable inviting you here. Wait, hold on a second. What the hell does this say? Does he want to come on Christmas? That becomes, I don't feel comfortable inviting you here. What the fuck is happening in this woman's mind? Now this is just becoming a freaking farce. Everybody looking at me. What? We're gonna have a fucking problem now. Eat your damn food, people. Fucking people are staring at me. Fucking, see, this is what happens. Your son's angered, now he's in public fucking screaming out, people are staring eventually. Take responsibility for the natural downstream effects of the actions that you start at the top. Bing, bang, bang. Even if it's third layer, fourth layer, fifth layer out. Cause and effect, cause and effect, cause and effect. Even 20 levels out, you're still responsible because you're the fucking first cause. Take ownership. Anyway. So here's a lie, and here's the fucking sick offense. She goes from expressing a desire to invite to then withdrawing the invitation. You're not allowed to not feel comfortable after you extend an invitation. That's disgusting. That's an offense. So is she morally guilty here? The charge is withdrawing an invitation to your own son to come up after you already extended it. Yeah, that's disgusting. I'm sure you feel this way too. Yeah, actually I do. I happen to, but that's none of your business. When you make the invitation, you let me decline it. You don't fucking withdraw it first, you sick human being. It's disgusting. Everyone agrees, I am sure. I don't feel ready to restore the relationship at this point. Hey, guys, she just texted Merry Christmas. Is that the thing you text to your child on Christmas? I don't feel ready to restore the relationship. Why? Because I falsely called the police on you, lied about you trying to kill me, which didn't happen, broke into your apartment with the key I have, which I'm not allowed to use without your permission, and then abused you some more by letting your neurologically stunted ass rot in your own apartment for 2 months by yourself with no one else to help you. Go kill yourself out of embarrassment. The day your face actually does turn red is the day that that good happens on this earth. Since more work, of course, needs to be done. After the incident, what incident? I never even saw you on that fucking day. Jesus! I worked with 2 therapists and was told that you need to get the treatment first. Then we should work on relationship. Wait a minute. Hold on now. This gets very interesting. So, you went to therapists. Therapists told you to stop talking to your son? They're supposed to be counsel. They're supposed to give counsel to their clients, right? As counselors. I don't know what kind of counsel this is, but here, just so that the audience gets the context, of course, this is the obvious transaction that happened. My mom goes to a therapist and gives the therapist hearsay, which often is true, but often is not true. In this case, obviously, the slant that she reasonably, presumably gave her own therapist is at least as bad and off as the slant that she gave the doctors when she called into the hospital where I was being held against my will, all documented, so I see how bad the slant was. Then when you get your own therapist to believe you and your slanted side of the story, bet you if those therapists saw my side of the story, they wouldn't believe anything you ever told them ever again. Because you gave them a very misrepresented idea of what's happening compared to what actually is happening. See that? That's why women weren't allowed to be judges in Israel. Your brains don't work the same way as ours do. So don't ever take yourself seriously, lest you fucking cause problems. I was told that you need to get the treatment first, then we should work on the relationship. First of all, treatment for what? What's the condition? Are they my doctor? They're not my doctor. So they're not fit to make medical recommendations or psychiatric recommendations for me. And furthermore, to cause you to coercively hold up your own relatedness with your family, such that if your son doesn't choose to, it's like a threat, your son doesn't choose to receive HIPAA protected medical services, which I have the right to not fucking have, for a condition that you don't even know fucking exists or doesn't exist, you're making it up, then you shouldn't talk to your son. Let me tell you something about therapists. I promise you that, number one, what they're doing is actually harmful, because it's so fucking straining to my fucking sanity. Actually, truly, when you do the thing that makes people go insane, that is what makes people go insane. So they have you do more of the abuse, which is ignoring your own son without legitimate cause. Then they have you come back more because, of course, your problems aren't getting solved. So of course they're just going to continue to sit there and make more money. It's very good. All under the guise of, oh, you know, safety, right? So, there's no safety, you made it up. You're all fucking playing a fake game. Stop it. Then, I was very traumatized. Need to work on myself too. You were traumatized. I didn't traumatize you, except that the feeling you feel about the reaction that I had, that's a good feeling. That the pain that you felt is healthy. You're supposed to feel pain. It's what alerts you to the fact that you're doing wrong. It's the signal that tells you to change your behavior to something better, not to something worse. I could help you with your needs, but won't be able to go to physically ever even interact with you for a while. You need to try your best to manage. If you need help, which I do because of my neurological things, I could send someone to do the chores for you. I told you, and I told my friend Anthony to make sure you understand, I don't want any damn thing from you. Except wherever I happen to be starving or otherwise having a serious problem, and you're aware of it and you allow it to perpetuate, that naturally accrues onto your karma as well as your family, and you have some moral obligation. Besides that, I don't fucking want anything from you other than that. Don't do me any favors. I hate you. People who hate you don't ask for favors from you. That's another evil way to try to obligate somebody. You're gonna give them shit. I cut the cords because you're supposed to be condemned, you ugly fucking human being on the inside. Okay. Super was complaining about the bad smell from your apartment. Yeah, because there's fucking garbage in my apartment. Because I can't even move sometimes because this fucking dopamine issue is serious. From my neurological damage, post-coma, and other serious things since then. As I described earlier. Did you remove the garbage? And then she goes theorizing about the fuck is under my sink. Shut up. You don't know what's going on. Beautiful. Here's what I say back. Lady, to fucking establish the first fucking most important context here of them all, why on earth would I accept anything like food being left under my door or at my door like I'm a dog, which I already forbade this person from doing. From you, I write. You are the wrongdoer. This is the first she's hearing from me in months. So understand that too, my audience. You are the wrongdoer, and I do not forgive you for what you did. That's because, and this will surprise some Christians, but those Christians are wrong, sorry to say. Jesus specified, and the Jewish religion definitely has it right, because there's no other question on it. There's no forgiveness without repentance. You don't get the free ticket without actually being sorry and on your knees at the service and before that person who you're trying to make up with. You don't get to keep being bad and hang on that line and get the fucking remedy for free. Ever. No one ever said it contrary. You all misinterpret if you think that way. Anyway, end of story, I say. You will go to hell at the end of your life and not to heaven, because treating your son the way that you have is the deepest sin imaginable for a mother. And I want mothers to agree or disagree with me. I don't think you can make a strong case for disagreement. I think what I'm saying is somewhat fair at the very least, if not pretty much mostly on the money here. True. Goes on, everything in your thinking is backwards. You should be begging me every day to forgive you. And I still wouldn't, at least that is to say, not at first, because the begging alone, in this case, because of how repeated the things were, the begging alone would not be enough, because it would lack the sufficient atonement, which requires an action, which I've seen none of the correct action so far. So we proceed onwards. But instead, you surround yourself with people who only receive your own slanted side of the story and your own imagination's idea of what is happening. Such people who then tell you to facilitate even more division between yourself and your own son. The more division than you already have caused yourself. That is all sick, because you have no eyes, so to speak, to see what the hell you are really doing. You really are blind. Shame on you forever. I do not know you. I did nothing wrong whatsoever. Nothing. But you? Yes. You did, for sure. That is all that God sees at the end. The reason that your road, that is, go to psychiatrist, go to psychologist, doesn't bring restoration is because it is the false road. It isn't working after 2 months because that is not the structure and rules that God made. Guys, the rebuke process, step 4 is ostracization of the person. That is to treat the person as persona non grata, to cut them off. They're as a heathen or tax gatherer to you. That means they are cut off for as long as they remain unrepentant. We all agree. You're not allowed to skip from step 0 or step 1 to step 4 and bypass steps 2 and 3. Steps 2 and 3 involve the bringing in of a witness before you even dream of treating the person any differently than you already were. Why? Because half the time you think you're right, you're actually wrong. And when the witness comes in, it's designed to protect the person against false accusation by doing what? They come in, they hear it, and they actually go, oh, you were saying they were doing wrong? No, no, lady, they weren't the one wrong. You're wrong. So I proceed. So 2 months, 2 years, 20 years, it would still be the same problems, because you'll never get to solutions or answers by going your way, doing it your mode, which is the blind way. Change your system of approach on how to solve and manage all the kinds of problems, and then you will have perfect, easy life with peace everywhere. Your poor choices are the only reason that your own son hates you. your choices. And when every choice that you make is the wrong choice, what does one like you do next? God gave the instructions in the Bible. You're supposed to listen. Then he blesses you and your whole family. God commands so that you obey, not the other way around. But if you do the opposite, he curses you and your whole family. Everything is because of you. You are supposed to obey the written law, the written instructions, and not ignore it. It is because you don't listen to God that you and the whole family has curses instead of blessings. Very easy to see. The way you treat me is disgusting. It's hurtful. It's permanently damaging. For these reasons and many more, you simply are, in fact, a terrible mother. And my audience is a strong words, but given everything we've heard today, is it fair play? Honestly, yeah. That's not an unreasonable characterization, summarily, after everything we've heard, is it? Well, then if not, then it's fair play to be stated. You are a terrible mother, because the way you've decided to conduct yourself towards me is against what God orders. No surprise, then. Naturally, every mother who goes against God's rules is, of course, in the end, a terrible mother. Well, that would be so. If you break the directions on how to be a good mother, you ain't a good mother. Take it to the extreme when you ain't paying attention, that unravels so far that you end up becoming a terrible mother. Now, she responds to this. If you're a normal person with a sense and eyes and a brain and a capacity to think, and you realize all this is being said to you by the who? By the God King! Your problem is that you don't respect my word as if it comes from the word of God. Just because you wrote something there, doesn't mean that I have to take it seriously. That's the fucking defect in this one, you see. Now let's establish another principle for the audience that we would all obviously agree with. What does a smart woman do who's a mother where her kid grows up and is grown? Obviously you're encouraging of him, you love him, you dote all over him as he grows. Now, when he's an adult, and maybe when he was younger, he needed a little redirection. Of course, where there's a father present, he should be the one doing the more firm directing. Mommy's there to teach. Daddy's there to instruct. You see the difference there? It's very important, that distinction. All right, mommy's more of like a steward. Okay? Daddy's more the boss. Boss versus steward. You see the difference? Key. Don't break against your son when you're the mother. It's not right. It's a fundamental transgression. Well, what does a good mother do? Obviously, when your grown son is now grown, and heck, he ain't even just like 18 or 20, he's like over 30 now. That's like true prime time adulthood territory. That's a grown man. And you're out with him in the world, and you're interacting with him and demonstrating to others how your son, grown now, is to be treated in this world and what kind of treatment is fit for him, what kind of conduct is fit for him. What does a smart woman do? Treats him like a king. This is my great son. Look how great he has become. His word is law, is powerful, is authority. Why is Mary in the Bible demonstrated as yielding to Jesus' word? Not because Jesus had a magic halo that was already visible to people at that time, because she was the example of what every mother's supposed to be. You get it? Every mother's supposed to defer to the authority of the male of the family. Everywhere it's repeated in the Bible, many different forms, many different ways, and expressed many different ways. So, what does the foolish mom do? Grown son still denigrates him. You don't know what you're talking. Look how bad he is. Oh, you look how bad you are. And when other people see that, what do they see about the mother? Oh, right. You're foolish enough to make him look bad from you in front of us all? Lady, you're the one who raised them. We're looking at you. You're the cause of any problem if you claim there's a problem. But what's the smart lady doing over here? My son is great. My son, I respect my son. I respect my great son. What is it? What is she mimicking for everybody? Look how good of a mother she is. She raised such a powerful one. So what is she? Fucking sharp. That's a solid mother who raised a solid son. So we all attribute the respect unto her. People don't respect you and you don't respect your son because they see how poor you did if you're claiming your son ain't shit. That's the disease. I'm sorry you feel that way. I respectfully don't agree with you. Disgusting. Fucking idiots. To sort it out, we should find third person who will listen to both sides and give objective opinion. Would you be interested? At the very least, this part she understood, because I've been repeating it for years every day, talking to her. Hey, third party witness, because everything between me and her is never agreement, it's always divisive, because I have this frame of understanding, she has hers. Hey audience, which one is actually correct and which one is the twisted? Put your comments below. So I write back, I agree 100%. This is the only practical way to solve this. I agree. Christ said, you can't work it out direct, you immediately go for the witness. Now, we'll clarify from the text. Who's a witness? Peer level people from the community. Who gets them? The accuser. I agree, that is about implementing a third person. So, now, in context, when she says, hey, we should find a third person who will listen to both sides. Okay, that is the substantive indication of what? Oh, first signs that she's on the remorse path and the, at least I'm trying to work it out. For the first time in 2-3 months, I'm headed towards showing that I want to make resolution, okay? So, when you are approaching the other person saying, hey, I'm willing to make resolution, who sets the fucking terms? The accuser. You're the wrongdoer. You're the one who's low and crawling and begging. And I set the terms, how you will be making it up to me and under what terms you will be participating to show to fucking pay off the shit. Obviously. So here I am, start dictating the rules now. So I will ask 1 or 2 friends who can intervene on the matter, particularly now that we both expressly consent to give them that jurisdiction to make that active judgment on the matter. I say that because, guess what? Most people don't love to intrude on other people's family business. If they're not the family, but it's like a mother and a son, they're like, oh, like, I don't want to touch that because that's your family. Practical limitation, my friends. Here's the sad thing. I actually don't have any family. It's pretty much just me and my mom. So we're a special case. We actually need to really turn outwards. We have nobody. We're losers. We're nobody. We have fucking no one to turn to. We don't even have friends. We're literally just outcasts. Why? Because my mom raised me with no fucking... My mom didn't raise me. She just stood nearby while I grew year to year. Do you understand the difference? When I saw what other people are like when they interact with their moms, I'm like, oh my God, it's like a comprehensive school every day where she's like the teacher or a professor. And I'm like, and then I see it everywhere. I'm like, wait, this is how mothers raise their children? And I go back home and it's just this passive, non-interaction. I was abused. It's abusive. Fucking ignored completely. Not like a plant that's not watered. I had to learn all my things on my own, you see. We should bring independent person if possible. Oh, and everyone, pay close attention to this. We should bring independent person if possible, but if you want to bring your friend, I will bring my friend too, or we'll have a party out of it. We will listen to them what they have to say. Look at the insult here. We will listen to them what they have to say. As if I haven't already fucking brought the fucking statement and judgment and authority. Fucking idiots. Don't disrespect your fucking king, you idiots. It's a power struggle of some kind. She doesn't see me as a king. I hope God fucking brings you down. No family members, just friends. Well, we don't have family members, but first of all, you don't set the terms, wrongdoer. You're the one who's wrong. You beg me. Idiot. Learn how to beg. Fucking treat me like a dog, you're the dog. It always comes back to you, because Christ said, with the measure that you measure, life karmically makes you back to be that thing, you fucking idiots. Hate you. You are dog shit to me. Till you earn it back. Pay. Fucking idiots. It will be a step in the right direction. Control freak, control. You try to frame, you try. No, you beg, you break down. You're a puddle. Then I show you, you fucking piece of shit. Hate you. My invitation to give you good holiday food is open if you're interested. Thank you. Already here I'm cringing because I know what she means. She doesn't want to talk to me. She wants to do the thing where she's insulting me by leaving it on the door again. After how many times I told her no. Wait a minute. I already told her in this conversation I wouldn't accept food from her. Why is she insulting me more again? I think professional help will still be the best in this situation. I sort of agree, but with a caveat. I want to have an in-person meeting with our private community level, peer level people, our private people first. Then, if there's still a disagreement after the personal level attempts at mediating and resolution, then we escalate to the therapy level. Once there's witnesses already established on the matter, from our private process, so to speak, where there's already people who are there who know what the deal is, who can also come in and say, like, yeah, like, this is what we found. So it makes the process 20 times faster and easier. I know what I'm doing. I have a man's brain. So I say, I have counteroffer. I'm accusing you of morally wrong behavior, and you're accusing me of morally wrong behavior too. Somehow. I don't know how. It's not. I didn't do anything morally wrong, you see. These are akin to being two separate, simultaneous moral cases or claims, both being levied against each cross way. So, it is the accuser's privilege to bring in the substantive witnesses / jurors. I will bring or agree to the presence of people who will serve the purpose when I accuse you, which I will do first, as I am the one with the original claim of your wrongdoing. In other words, you hurt me first, all the way for how long, and it's so much more severe. I insist on going first. Why else do I say that? Number one, because I know that by the time I'm done, all your stupid fake claims will end up evaporating and being canceled and dropped, because you'll realize you're wrong on all of them. But number two, if you were to go first, I would only embarrass my own mom in front of her people. So better we do it with my people, better than your own people, to have that. You'd be a slaughter in front of them. Your friends wouldn't respect you afterwards. Always respect my deeper insight. It's fucking AI compared to you tiny brains. Then, if you have any remaining claims against me that are not resolved by your counterclaim during my moral proceedings against you, but you still hold me wrong for something, then afterwards, you go and separately bring... You see, I'm authority, I'm power, I'm king. You have to bow, bow, bow. Makes sense, of course. Everybody what's the word? Like, makes up for the thing they lacked. So if I wasn't regarded growing up and my mom always invaded my boundary and never had respect, so I hyper compensate by being a fucking, like, oh, no, you have to fucking bow, blah. Right, because you broke me in that way, you moron. So, but it's obvious. Also, my audience would agree. Like, yeah, that's obvious too. Not my fault. Then afterwards, you go and separately bring your own friends and witnesses. As I instruct, I'm God King, remember? And we will conduct a second separate case for that. The man has spoken. You bow, idiot. Buh, buh, buh. Fucking piece of shit. I would not bring in a professional unless they were also aligned to Judeo-Christian value systems through religion. I was working with one therapist briefly over the phone. He was a therapist and also a pastor in Texas. That's the best kind of combination you want. You have both the therapist and the religious. I even asked him over the phone. I was like, dude, you get it. Like, you're a therapist and a pastor. You get how therapy and its whole thing is only a small portion of how the real thing works. He's like, yeah, the therapy part alone is bullshit. And I am the licensed therapist at the same level as all the other licensed therapists are. And I'm like, I know when I am that with Judeo-Christian integration into that, that's mega superior, correct framework to conduct effective work in this world. By the way, I don't mean to brag, but when I spoke to my own therapist, usually he would do more of the talking. I blew his damn mind. He was like, dude, you're like the guy who's going to write the next book. Like, I'd be your fucking follower on that. I'm like, thank you. Not everybody seems to agree. The blind think they're smart. I continue. Only problem with him is that it's too expensive. Not enough time's available to talk. It would take 25 sessions just to fill him in on the whole story. Only therapists who are Christian or possibly religiously Jewish would be acceptable to me. As a secular therapist, don't have the sufficient moral equipment to understand everything correctly. Because they're a little liberal, forget it. They're so dumb and naive because they're twisted with modern things that are believe we think it should be that way. Instead, it's not actually that way. Your wishes. Fuck. However, I also insist that, as long as it is possible or practical, a professional as an authority on the moral law, whether such person be a therapist or like a clergy level or rabbi level, that person's not involved until after lower level witnesses are brought in first. That's very important. That is following Christ's word correctly. Anything else is not following Christ's word correctly. So if my mom professes as a Catholic going, I love Jesus, you better listen to the word or you admit you're evil for twisting and breaking against the perfect code of Jesus. Respect it or admit you're going against it. I want these witnesses to be paid, I further say, for sure, from family funds. Not for a particular favorable decision for one or the other, but just for their time. I think it's right. And it will come from a neutral family trust. We could even create the trust in writing and just get people paid. Hell, jurors get paid when they go to jury duty just for their time, not to vote one way or another. That's obvious. Let's do the same for them. Let's look out for my poor friend Anthony, who had to go through so much crap with me, so many hours on the phone, listening to me going on about this. Hell, because the mom of mine is too stupid to fucking clean up her shit and take responsibility and admit correctly her fault. Who taught you that bad? Furthermore, witnesses of a lower level will complete their assessment of the matter before the higher level professionals intervene. Why? You have to teach the dummies, you see? Because the one who's making the accusation should already have the support of one or two witnesses who are already confirming the findings to such as clergy or therapist or authority, such that when that authority hears about the matter, it's not just hearsay from the mouth of one guy, but it's coming from 2 or 3 people, so it's already the established fact. It's very important. This process will take at least several or dozen or more total hours, possibly 2 or 3 dozen. Real life trials often take several days. That's how long it naturally takes to fully bring out everything for examination under our figurative microscopes. So, whoever we bring in, on my side or your side, it will be understood that this is not a 1-hour discussion. It could be a 25-hour discussion. Something akin to almost a seminar. Truly, which will span a few days of time, with a few hours each day. And it needs to be done fast. Rapidovnie. So no waiting and no delaying. This will be done as soon as possible, because this has essentially been a long-standing emergency and family crisis. I will also utilize the opportunity of conducting the first essential trial, so to speak, of you, so that you effectively learn how to conduct a fair trial, not your crazy slants. Afterwards, you use the same protocol with me, which I prefer because it's the fair one. What I'll do is fair, and it will always lead to the correct pravda, that means the truth, and correct justice every time. I appoint Anthony as my witness. I also may tentatively appoint another friend, Isabella. She's one day okay, though, and one day paskudna, which means, maybe she needs a trial of her own. Sometimes. Maybe I'll feel that way today, maybe I won't feel that way tomorrow. But that one is back and forth. Always with women, it's like this. Men is stable. Women, one day, another day. It's that word where you're not stable all the time. Whatever. So in this case, it may be either Anthony alone, Anthony and somebody else, or Anthony and Isabella. Okay. Who did you have in mind to propose as witnesses? That's my first question. And second question, I believe just like jurors in real life are paid by the courts for their time, our witnesses should be paid. Oh, I said this already. Yeah, hey, $40 per day. Why not? Third, give me my money. Oh, wait, more important. I want to go have a Christmas meal with myself, because you're obviously too stupid and selfish to set up a correct structure for this family. It sounds mean, but I have a First Amendment right to say it, number one. Number two, on the moral level, is it a fair thing for me to say, given at this point, given how crazy things are? Sorry, lady. You're not protected from me criticizing you. That's the fucking dream that you never woke up from. You think you're immune from criticism. No one is immune from criticism. It's better that I say how I really feel about you. Because from the Proverbs of the scriptures itself, it states, essentially, quoting from my head, better that I tell you the real truth about how I feel about you than to conceal it and give you the fake political, diplomatic words that are just icing on a fucking shit pie. You're a terrible leader. You're actually no leader at all. You're not a figurehead of this family, but by righteousness I am. You have my last name, which, by the way, funny enough, my mom divorced my dad. She just kept the last name even though she divorced my dad. Presumably, it's out of an allegiance to the fact that you already have a son, and that's me. But guess what? Now my own father's dead. I'm Mr. Winslow now. So I took on that leading spot, so to speak. And by that, I'm the oldest male in my family on both sides, and you're a woman. You listen to me, or you change your last name. You understand? I'm the fucking director here now. She goes on, hi, I'll send you some money now. Also could bring you food in a few minutes if you want. Ah! How many times? Guys, you must be falling out of your chairs by now. How many fucking times? What happened? Is there a worm in her brain? What the fuck happened? We'll check if there are any more payments within the last 2 days. Why? Why? What payments? You know why? Because she's linked on an eBay account. I told my friend to have her fucking provide the information needed so I can unlink her. She won't do it. None of this makes fucking sense. I don't understand, right? You personally would like to bring food for me? For me? Or you're offering to do something which I told you several times is extremely offensive. So much so, in fact, that the last time you did this without my permission or invitation to do so, I made sure to throw it back to your doorstep so that you could not possibly make the same mistake again of offering the same thing to me, which is offensive. Of course, it didn't work. Broken encoding in her mind, you see. I don't accept food left on my door like I am some kind of subhuman. I don't accept food like that ever. Okay. I just sent you money. You said that already. I could bring the food to you. Oh God, this is a torture. I live in the fucking Twilight Zone. Do you see how ridiculous this looks? Ring the bell and you will pick it up after I turn my back to walk away. Guys, that's her proposal. I'll do the thing that you just indicated that you hate. Because I hate you, obviously. I don't regard you. I don't respect you. This sends that message. Obviously. You would all agree. Yeah, tough thing to agree to. Because the next natural question is, why does she keep doing that? Why is she hating you? Why is she mistreating you like this? Does this work? Yeah. Obviously now I flip out. Reasonably. In hopes that this is what it takes to finally get her to stop doing that. Are you stupid, I say? You're asking me, does it work if you treat me like subhuman, but I accept it by participating in such a mentally sick idea of yours? I don't pick anything up left behind by people for me who won't fucking talk to me, though. Why would I play that game? Why would I consent into that sick framework? It's all about domination. Stop being sick. What kind of sick shit is this, I ask? You are a stupid and offensive woman. Why the hell would I accept food from someone who acts like they are too important to even be seen by me or to interact with me? I'm your son. I'm supposed to be the most important fucking person. What the fuck kind of message is that? As if to substantively convey, oh, I will leave you food, which you will desperately accept, but of course you're not good enough for me to interact with directly. Hey lady, this is truly sick shit. So you need to just fucking get it. I don't accept anything from people who attempt offensive, insulting indignation. No man is happy to sit and accept from a woman. The only thing that is currency between a man and a woman, and from woman to man particularly, is the warmth and care. That I actually feel the fullness of it, not shortchanged. Not, the regulations here, restrictions, you see. Puh, I spit on that shit, and I spit on anyone who represents it. No man is happy to sit and accept from a woman who leaves something but runs away. What the fuck is that? Better I would starve. Do you get it? You have to learn the fucking lesson. How to treat a human being correctly. You should be embarrassed to even dream to offer some shit like this to me. How about I do this to you, stupid? When we have an argument, I'll say to you, Merry Christmas. Let me leave you food, which you will desperately accept. But you know, royal me cannot deal with you, okay? So I'm going to just leave that food for you, but I'll turn my back. You just lick up that food right there like it's just this shit. I just leave it for you, okay? I'll do this for you. You would like this? Or would you say, what the hell is this? How you treat your mother? I'm not going to accept that kind of gesture that's sewn into the thing. So then, don't do it to me, Mom. You better you better learn that. You get it? Learn to do better. It's an insult to act towards me in a way that just implies further, it reinforces how bad I am, right? Fuck out of here with that. The hell would I ever accept that? Leaving food without speaking to me is a fucking offense, moron. So do not leave me any fucking food, moron! No one would fucking accept it, idiot, in my position. Naive asses. You're wrong for even offering this. You are for sure here because I've already told you many times not to. This is not new information. I'm telling it this strong because this is the fucking 8th or 10th or 12th time. Every single time it's like you shit in my eyeball is the equivalent offense. Because a man is authority. When you don't respect his authority, it's the same like killing or raping him. Loving me is worshiping my word and being an obedient slave, you idiot. Obviously. That's why men design a whole religion around it called women listen to men all the time. It's called Christianity. Me accepting such food under such circumstance would be a substantive equivalent showing that, in essence, I agree that this course of treatment is acceptable to me and that it is fit for me. Wouldn't that be the sign? I'd be like, yeah, if you just accepted that, that would be like sending the message to your mom like that. It's like this dynamic is fine. That's exactly why I reject it. It can never be shown that this dynamic is fine. That dynamic is not fine. That's the fucking ultimate point to beat you over the head with over and over so you finally get it. But why have so many beatings over your head with it not changed your broken behavior yet? But I have news for you, I say. This whole thing you're doing is shit. That is not fit for me. I don't consent to how stupid you are being with this. I don't accept this shit. Do you get it? You are completely wrong. So now I lay out the groundwork. Next step, how to obey. Obey what? Women have to look, what do I obey? What do I obey? And the man gives the law. Number 1, command. You apologize to me for even suggesting this kind of shit. Number 2, you understand that only appropriate conduct towards me when presenting food to me is you're to present it properly. Like člověk, that means like a person, like a human being to human being. Either this, or you don't offer any food in the first place in a matter that one could find it likely offensive, dla člověka, to the person. Do you get it? Here we go. But everything I wrote here, I actually told my mom this in words and spoken conversation multiple times over the many months and years. Okay, but what did you get? Okay, didn't know that it is offensive. All right, what did I just say? Right. So that actually, to write that is insane. That's completely insane. Just try to be helpful. This is that naive shit again. That's not helpful. It's an insult to show how you're turning your back on a human being. You leaving food that you won't talk to me with around while you're offering it to me is showing me how I'm not worthy to be talked to. See how you have to be left food alone? See how you have to be left food on the doorknob because of how bad you are that I won't even talk to you? Duh, why would I like that, idiot? Obviously, my audience gets that. So I tell her, you should have known better, though, because this has been brought up to you several times already within the last 3 years. Do you deny that I've brought this up several times already and that this has already come up as an issue before? where I very strongly indicated that this is not acceptable, and then again through my friend Anthony, this is nuts. And then again above. Oh God. Okay. Also, I'm only interested in real therapy for us with licensed person. Could be Jewish. No trials of me. Yeah. Very convenient for you, isn't it? Huh? I will cover the cost for us. Now, audience. This sounds somewhat nice on the surface, but not really. You could, if you're smart, you could see the problem with this. Someone will help solve the problem, not to bring more problem and divisions. In other words, she's saying, we're going to help solve the problem, but if we did it your way, that's bringing in your people that way. You're already seeing the problem. You're like, wait a minute, lady, didn't you write above that you want and you're totally fine with us bringing people in? Oh, but wait, that's not even the first time this whole conversation where we saw you suddenly contradict yourself majorly. You know, whoa, what the fuck is this is all insane. It's all fucking insane. Someone who will help solve the problems, not someone who will bring more problems and divisions, i.e. you, through your idea, with your setup, with your people, with that paradigm. That is what I want. I say there are multiple problems and points of issue for me to bring up. First one is this. Did you not say earlier at 10:50 a.m. today that we should bring independent person, but you want to bring your friend and I can bring the friends, we'll listen to them and we'll listen to friends. That will be the step in the right direction. Are these your words? Was that your offer and agreement? Yes, but I'm not interested in trials, only therapy. The friends will be for there where the therapist is. Yeah, wait, that's not what we said before, liar. So you just lie. You're a faker. You're a misrepresenter. You're a bait and switcher. You're not moral. You're not moral. You don't follow law. You don't follow Christ. You fucking do your own inventions from your mind without the structure of guidance for good. You're not good. You're evil. Get it? You don't care about people, so you're evil. It's all sick. My vision was to have to... Your vision sucks! If you're the driver's seat, we would all be dead. You're not allowed. You're literally the worst one. God wants you to be the farthest away from the fucking metaphorical driver's seat. Idiot. Don't listen to the woman. I promise you you're screwed if you do. Jesus, stop it. Fuck. Look at this shit. Does anyone disagree? Everything this woman has shown here and everything I've said about her in the last few hours, that actually we should just kind of all fall under that person's authority? No, run for your lives. That person should never direct anything around you. The worst. Your vision, you're blind. You don't have vision. You're morally blind. Anything you do I'm high IQ. I blink and shit magically works because I pre-figured it out before you even woke up this morning. You're stupid. Shut up. I'm the God here, not you, moron. We will all talk with the licensed one. Only one professional person leading it. Could be done over the phone, but that's what I want. So here's a moral principle that's contradicting here. If you're the fucking one at fault, when you beg back to the person who you want to make up with, the one who you're begging to is the one who sets the terms. So I set the terms, how you pay, not you. You don't get to set the terms, how you pay. Then everyone will fucking screw it. The fucked up shit and cheat the shit. You don't get it. Number one, you did wrong to me I accuse you, and you denied that you did anything wrong. Stunningly. My goal is to restore the relationship based on the respect on both sides. Immediately when I read this, I want to throw up. I'm like, lady, what you're doing is not respectable. None of it. You're not. I already indicated to you. Must one honor an abusive parent? The answer in that article, if you read the whole thing down through to the bottom, it's no. You're not magic. You're not God. You are the same. You're the same level of risk as everybody else. You're not a special person when you do wrong. You are when you're right. You are when you're good. You are extra special as a parent status when you're good. When you're bad, you're the same bad as if anyone else it would be who's bad. There's no respect for you. I respect you the least possible in the world. You're at the bottom of the list. I respect the bum on the across the street more than I respect you. Fucking idiot. Furthermore, I've shown you and trained you with many videos from priests, or pastors rather, who explain the text in the New Testament that says that you don't respect women. You respect the man when the man loves the woman. It's a dual currency with two different currencies being paid each way. Just like a car doesn't run on jet fuel, the jet doesn't run on regular gasoline. Each fuel tank runs on its type of fuel designated for it. So women don't run on respect. That's the brainwashing of modern, but except if you're a psychopath and you want power and control, so you think respect, but it's all sick. It's not about respect. Women want to be loved. Men want to be respected. But why would I respect you if you cheat respect from me? So I don't respect you, and I also don't love you. And make no mistake about it. The Bible and the Torah obligate the parent to love the child. They don't obligate the child to love the parent. And every good Jewish scholar knows this and talks about it. Why that is. Because it's known that, practically speaking, parents cannot always be lovable. And it's possible for them to fuck it up. And no one is obligated to love someone who's screwing something up. Because it's very bad when a parent screws it up. But a child, no matter how bad they screw up, shall always get the love anyway. Everybody knows that intuitively and instinctively. It's like, yeah, that's right, because that's just a child. So, already, audience, you see the writing here by her? More sickness, more broken thinking, more non-contact with how reality actually works. Next. I continue. Thereby, what I just said above there, here, you have no right to just say, I don't want to be put on trial. This is because, as I said, you are the one who did something wrong, but you are not taking responsibility for it. She continues, the therapist will guide and decide what needs to be changed and improved. Good idea. I'll tell you, audience, why it's not a good idea. I just had a woman who forcibly called the police to try to get me to psychiatric confinement on purpose so that I could be forced into psychiatric involvement, okay? You don't have a right to create an idea that your son should be psychiatrically submitted because a man is free will and he's the God of himself. With respect to you, he is. The God above me is my God. As far as you're concerned, I'm God to you. Think I'm lying? Look up the text in the New Testament. Christ is to the church what the church is to the man, and that's what the man is to the woman. Ah, tears. Get stacked correctly. So, to further explain this and finalize that, the lesson here is to teach the dumb parent how your adult son isn't for you to be directing around, that you need to make, is that word in English? Ultimatums about what has to happen or something. No, immoral. You're wrong. Wrong framework. Bad. What's good? My man's the grown, strong leader, king of the whole society or nation or community or family of just a couple of people. So, act like it. You don't try to usurp your king, moron. Honoring your king is correct. Thereby, pursuant to what I just said, there's only one thing that must happen. Do you know what that is? She said, find a good therapist. That's the only thing that works. I say, no. You don't get it. Because the lesson here, I'll do therapy for me when I want to. You don't have a right to slam your foot down and say, I will do it my way, when you're the one who did the damage. You don't get to rob the store, then when the police catch you, say, I don't want to go to trial. No thanks, so do it my way. Tell the judge, I only want to do it my way. I'll do therapy only. I don't want to do trial. No, lady, I don't think you get it. You're the one who did the crime, so we call the shots. Oh, everyone agrees to that. You get that premise. So extend it to here. Oh, naturally. Oh, right. I kind of know what you mean now, John. Obviously, if she's the one who's... she don't get to call the shots when you're the wrongdoer. No, incorrect, I say. That is what my intention was. Doesn't matter what your intention was. You're the wrongdoer. For in such a situation as ours, I explained, where there's an accuser and an accused, our problem isn't a lack of therapy for the one accused. The problem is that the accused is not admitting fault. I'm not interested in trials and making more problems instead of finding solutions. Do I even need to explain this one? Or I think everyone in the audience sees how fucking crazy this is. So you see the controlling thing? She tries to frame what I'm doing as making more problems. No. Getting you to take responsibility for the wrong you did is not the creation of more problems. That's the reducing of problems. We should try to see how it goes. Right, but your problem, Mom, is that you lived a life of not respecting your son's boundaries. So now you're going to have to forcibly learn how to respect the boundary and learn that the other person has free will. And you don't just get to boss people around because you wanted, that's how it has to be, right? That's the wrong message to send to you. So you have to get it the other way. Obviously. Or the hell would I do any different? Similarly, the problem for the accuser, as I explained, isn't a lack of therapy. It's the fact that they are being given offense by someone and yet being deprived of the apology that they deserve and are owed. Yeah. So a therapist will not solve either of these problems for you, strictly speaking. If they happen to, it would only be by chance or by accident. When a criminal is accused of a crime by the police such that they are charged, can he just say, oh, I don't want a trial, no thanks? And she goes on. Are you interested in getting therapy with a licensed professional? Hey, audience. Am I interested in having my mom decide things for me? Am I decided in abandoning my autonomy in response to my mom setting a pattern of not respecting my autonomy? It's about you learning your lesson. That's always the most important thing. Respect man, because man is the power and law above you, idiot. I really think we both need it. The therapist will be in charge of our case. Right, but I said no, so no means no. But she takes this as seriously as she takes a no about leaving food when she wants to leave food on my door. Think. He will be the judge, not us. No, Christ is the judge, and he wrote the method in the book so that we carry it out. Furthermore, guess what the Bible says? He said that the oldest, basically, that the man in the family, who's a central man, the husband of the wife and the father of the son, and that man, he's the authority in the family. He's the authority in the family, not you, dumbass. He said when you're at home and your family, that man there is the one you go to ask about how to run the thing. That's the one who understands the moral law that we teach in the church. They write, women stay silent in the church, shut up, don't even speak, just listen, don't interrupt the men. The men will talk, learn the things with their male minds that are superior, and then they go home and they teach it to you, and you shut the fuck up and listen. It says that in the book, you idiot. So you shut up when I speak what the fucking law and decision is, and then you go, no, I'm not going to listen to you, man, son, who's grown up. I'm going to run to an appeal to a fucking therapist. What are you substantively conveying to me? You're saying I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. TikTok. Do you know how fucking insulting that is to me? When you come up to me and act as if I don't know what it is that I'm fucking talking about? So I proceed. No, you don't get it. Number one, the moral law and the set of moral principles behind that law is already clear to everyone alive. Sometimes you just need me to remind you on a nice YouTube video, but that's that. Second, before we go to a judge, we need witnesses. You get it? Judges make decisions based on facts. When one person shows up, that's hearsay. Hearsay does not equate to facts. You can't outthink me. Submit! Number three, do you think you're smarter than Jesus? Number four, if you said either your words, this thing that you wrote at 10 in the morning, then these words indicate what will happen. You don't change your ideas after we agree to them, because that also is an insult to the person who you're speaking to. Because if you said that where you actually didn't mean it, then why the hell did you say it? You think you're allowed to put representations in front of me that you don't put your full weight behind? That's an insult to me. Nobody is smarter than Jesus. You could do therapy with a Jewish person. You could bring witnesses to him as well as I could. Yeah, but you ain't listening, lady. You fucked up. I don't want to do therapy. Why? I don't even need a reason. I just don't want to. But I'll do it later on my own if I want to, for myself as I want to. Just like how you did it because you want to. And if I tried to force you before that, you wouldn't just go, okay, I'll do it because this guy has to tell me to do it. You say, no, I'm a person myself. I decide when I want therapy. Right, same here, idiot. You give yourself a better standard than you give me? Idiot, it's the opposite. A mother sacrifices herself to give better for the son. You got it backwards. I'm only interested in getting therapy with licensed professional. Everything else won't work in our favor. No, if I say it'll work in our favor, you not agreeing and believing my dictate and that power of wisdom, your problem is that you don't treat me as wise. Yeah, that's the fucking problem. And yet, I am wise. That's the fucking problem you have. You don't acknowledge what is real. Everybody else around me gives me more damn credit than you do. You should be ashamed of yourself. But Dunning-Kruger effect. The stupidest people think they're the smartest ones in comparison. It will always stun me to the end of time. Did you say or did you not say we should do this and all that? I'm not interested in excuses, yes or no. I was thinking about the professional therapy sessions, including friends and witnesses. It's a misunderstanding. Guys, pay very close attention here. This is the bullshit. Did you say or did you not say, you can bring the friends, we will bring the friends, we will listen to them? It's in black and white, my friends. But I said I was thinking about therapy, so it's a misunderstanding. Do you see that this says therapy? No. But you see, if you're a normal person who realized you said that and then realized you're contradicting yourself later, if you're honest, you would stop and say, oh, you know what, you're all right, I am sorry. I take responsibility for trying to just bait and switch like that. That's not ethical or moral. It's not right. It's not respectful of you. So that's why it's wrong. Duh, wake up to that. It's not right because it's not respectful. That's why it's wrong. Instead, she's going to try to pull the wool over your eyes some more. When I fucking have the highest GABA B neural density and arguably on the planet as a result of what happened to me from the research chemicals, that I have the super high IQ now and EQ and all that. You're trying to pull the wool over the eyes of the person who's the least possible to pull the wool over that person's eyes. And yet you still do it. It's so sick. It's like a person who gets caught lying. And all the videos on the internet, it's like you watch a liar and they're caught. But they still will lie. Like, we got you. Like, no, they're still going to push the lie. It's sick. That's the devil. So you are the devil. And he's in you. Shame on you. So I call her out again. I said, no, it's not a misunderstanding. It's a mistyping. Number one, I didn't misunderstand what was written. You see how it shifts the blame? See, if I write the misunderstanding, it's like, it's all about evading responsibility. That's the ultimate sick thing from the sick person. Words in English are exact. When you select words to write a sentence, the meaning of that sentence is clear to every reader on the planet. By the way, and now it gets even better. See, this is Christmas Day, right? You think God and the angels want mom and son to reconnect on Christmas Day? Of course they do. So what does God and the angels do? They cause her phone to suddenly dial to me right away. And this never happens. Right here in the thing, it doesn't say missed call within the text log. There's a call right here. It's not a missed call. I saw a call from her. I actually thought, oh my God, hallelujah. Finally, like, God opened her heart and the devil's been cracked away. So I pick it up. I say, hello, hey, hello. And I just hear nothing. I hear silence. Like, what the hell? Hello? Just silence. I'm like, what the hell? More silence. Then I hang up again. And I write back. By the way, you just called me right now from your phone. You didn't say anything. When you now, as the mom, imagine you're in the mother's position, all this crazy shit is happening, but you read those words now and you realize, wow, either one of two things happened. Either you accidentally called and you're finding out about it now, or you accidentally called, but you realized as soon as you made the call that you accidentally called. And you saw me come on the phone and say hello. And you chose to be silent, knowing you're sitting there and that I'm on the phone there. And you don't know what to do with yourself. Audience, speculate. Which one do you think it is? And moreover, if it's either one of those two, regardless, if you're a supposedly superstitious person and you believe in God and all that, and you find your phone on Christmas Day calls your son, finally, what's the damn thing to do? That's right. Of course. And yet, she decides some response has to be put in. So instead of being a class A person in life and doing the right thing, what does she write instead? Son, I just called you by mistake. Oh, that's fucking disgusting. The fucking Jesus, what the fuck? I called you by mistake. You're not for calling. You're not for talking to. Let me reaffirm that more. Let me pile more insults on you today. On Christmas, you deserve to be treated the worst by your mother today. Every other day, I didn't submit you to bullshit. Today's Christmas, though. So let me submit you to a pile of indignation today to really cement your happiness this year. Obviously, I respond just as a man who has experienced indignation would naturally respond. By mistake? You moron? By mistake? You should be embarrassed to admit that it was a mistake. You should be embarrassed even to admit this. God is trying to teach you an act through us all and it all within the life. Don't you get it? To see what you're gonna do. He always tests you, you see. He always tests wrongdoers to see if they do even a little more wrong or to turn it back finally. To see if you're gonna do the correct thing or the not correct thing. Okay, sorry about it. Do you want to go for therapy? It just never ends with some people. Next. What is wrong with you? Guys, nothing is wrong. I'm just trying to get agreement with you so we could move forward. See, nothing's wrong, she says. That's a lie. Obviously, everything she's doing is wrong, but since she can't see that, she'll say nothing is wrong. She's just trying to get agreement with me so we could finally move forward. Do you see the frame job that comes with that? It's called, I'm going to frame it so that it's like, it's as if you, son, are the one who's blocking everything here, right? I'm trying to get an agreement so we can move forward. You're not bringing agreement. Why are you blocking progress, John? You see the frame, the slant? But nobody in the audience would believe that, seeing all this. Anyone looking at this whole picture with clear eyes clearly sees they're all in agreement. Lady, you ain't the one fucking trying to move it forwards like as if he's the one holding it back. Obviously, he's completely trying to do it perfect and right and damn fix it, and you're the one who's being really terrible here. It's so obvious to everyone looking at this, neutrally and objectively, with the clear eyes looking at it like this. I think your responses are disgusting. They're brainless, aberrant. I have no practical ability to get through to you. I think you are, practically speaking, as a zombie. Because honestly, this here is, it's brainless again, and then brainless again, and then brainless again. So it's like 56 consecutive shots of brainless. It never ends. I'm not dealing with you over this texting line because the insane amounts of reasonable frustration that I do experience from your idiotic and extremely offensive responses, inconsiderate responses, risks the peace and sanity of everyone in this situation. You're not even fit to talk to directly through this. You aren't moving forwards towards agreement because you're actually backing out of agreements that you put. You said, let's get our people, and then all of a sudden, no, I don't want our people. So who's the ones fucking shit up? I don't know why you're my mother. This is torture. I hate you. Now, a normal mother who reads this would psychologically break down, cry, wonder what she did to allow that to be the case, feel remorse, sorry, God, I hope I could fix that. I never want my son to feel that way about me. It's a self-conscious embarrassedness that you would feel. That's correct. The woman is designed to feel self-conscious embarrassedness. That's why it's so easy to have a good relationship with a woman. If you criticize her a little bit, it's automatically will result in change. Whether or not there's a little storm in the middle, all right, well, we'll deal with it. But you see, it's all designed to work at the end of the day. Only defective ones will not work. You're not even fit for me to talk to. Then she says again, guess what, guys? I just want to know, you are interested in getting professional therapy together? Oh my God. Guys, is there any hint? Is there any lack of clarity as to whether or not I want to do this? For her? No. I am not 5 years old. This means when I speak and declare the fucking judgment and the answer and decisions of the fucking kingdom, you bow and say, yes, my Lord. To train you how to worship authority again the way you're supposed to. For as the ancient Chinese said, every woman is bound to 3 men in subservience. Her father when she is young, her husband in middle life, and her eldest son in older age. Now bow! Did you not already receive reasonable indication of the position on the matter already? Did I not indicate to you that I would be open to engaging in therapy work only after we first speak with friends as witnesses to discuss these problems of ours? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes or no? The professional therapy for both of us. But this is the best I could do. You could introduce friends to the therapist. Lady, I will, after they see how retarded you are, not before. Because everything's designed to show actual truth correctly and to not impede it. So when you want to design process, don't design process in your head. Go to the one who can actually see clearly. He designs process. You say, yes, God. Yes, sir. Yes, man. Yes, higher tier. And you stay at your fucking tier. You have these fights with other women, not with fucking me. Think about it and let me know. Thank you. You have no right to refuse conversation with friends when you're a wrongdoer and my friends want to come in to solve it, where you're morally obligated as a mom, reasonably, you owe to be showing to solve it. You have no right, therefore, to withhold a sit down with your people and friends within your community who want to know what the hell is going on in that place, who all supposedly care. Well, they do. Get that? Of course. Everyone agree with me in the audience? Yeah, kinda, yeah. She's no right to, decline to sit down with the people. So it should be done. Oh, my God. Her son is right? Who'd have thought? He's right again? My God, how does he keep doing that? She swears he's retarded. Huh. You have no moral right. Do you get it? If I accuse you, you have some moral obligation to be held to answer, don't you? In a manner that's suitable. And conversely, you have no right to insist that I do submit to therapists because you want to. Therapy, psychotherapy, are HIPAA-protected medical or quasi-medical services. You can't legally obligate or coerce someone to put ultimatums, to threaten them with fucking abuse, which a fucking family division to a fucking neurologically and a not healthy person is fucking abuse. We're going to justify it because you're sick. You didn't see any of the things correctly to begin with from the beginning. And this lady just keeps on going forwards, blind, stumbling. It's like a drunk driver who gets caught drunk driving for the 15th time, and they don't understand anything, but they keep doing it, and they keep thinking everything's fine. It's all nuts. They don't need to do it if they don't want to. Thereby, you have no right to specify that. For us to speak to someone in order to untangle moral issues of the community, that has to be done through specific routes that you insist on. See the problem with your approach? Your sudden refusal to meet with third-party friends for the purpose of resolving the problems is unreasonable refusal. Do we agree, audience? I think we do. Because it's not right. She should be doing it. Also, you said that you don't want to get involved because essentially you don't want to have more problems created. I am telling you by authority that sitting down is not equated to bringing more problems. Your job is to show up in good faith. Christ gave his method for solving all interpersonal problems in Matthew 18. Go read it. She says, instead of respecting my authority, she says, I explained my position already. No, you didn't. You just said that you want to do it. That's not explaining your position. But when you're egotistic, you believe that just because you want it, therefore that's good enough. No, lady. When you're wrong, your wants don't count anymore. Your obligations are the only thing that pay the debt correctly. And look at this shit. If you want to try, great. If not, it's your choice. You will only benefit. See, the slant is all about making it about you, see? The wrongdoer wants to switch it to make it about you. But you don't force people to do it, idiot. I'll do it when I want to. Not when you want to force it so bad that you're going to slant when I yell at home to, oh, maybe I could get him now. Call the police, quick. I'll get him now. Hey, he's threatening to hurt people. No, I'm fucking not. He tried to kill me. Burn the house down, he will. I never fucking said that. People fucking could go to jail for fucking lying like that. Why are you so recklessly idiotic that you don't care that you're hurting people? All right, you wrote earlier you want to cause it to be so that there's mutual respect, but what you're doing is not respectable. Furthermore, God does not command older women to be respected, that is, to be reverenced by young men. Rather, it commands even older women to be respecting and revering the word of all men when they speak. So when you do not honor my direction as the eldest male of this family, I figuratively spit on you. You're no different than a dishonoring wife or a dishonoring daughter to me. It's all the same. Any woman around me who's not listening is the same level of default, because I'm not a child. You don't have the same. The problem with this parent here, this mother, is that she thinks she still has, as a common problem maybe, after your son crosses to adulthood, you're not the parent anymore. That's your honorary title, but you're retired. They're a peer to you now. You're peer level. You are wrong for not doing what you're supposed to do. You are completely wrong. Furthermore, one more thing you don't seem to fully understand. There's going to be a substantive trial that's held about you anyway, whether you're there or not. Your ability to be there at that discussion benefits you. You'll be able to defend yourself, to challenge any assertion of facts made, to justify anything you did, to challenge our interpretation of what is right and wrong. But if you don't participate, then number one, you won't be able to do any of those things. Number two, where your participation is morally expected, furthermore, as it obviously is, we would all agree, of course, the hell's she doing? But you don't participate, that too is another offense. That only makes you look worse, even more still. Here's also what I don't understand. Here's also what you don't understand. Once the witness certifies that it is you who's guilty and not me, by all the facts discussed, then there will be other moral authorities who are involved. Maybe then I will get a therapist. I'll get my friends who discussed the matter. You weren't there. We determined. We go to the therapist. We talk to him about that. He sees it's not just me, but it's me and a bunch of people who all commonly agree that what you're doing is disgusting and ugly. So the therapist really has the extra certification that the thing really is true, as opposed to your therapist who you said lies and they think it's correct to cause you to not talk to your son. Fucking what the fuck? Hell. All of this will be recorded furthermore. See, I'm putting shit on YouTube now. There you go. And then if you still don't apologize and atone for every single wrong thing you've ever done in your whole life against me, everything will be put all over YouTube and all over the internet. Barbara Winslow from Brooklyn, New York. And we let the public decide how good of a mother Barbara Winslow from Brooklyn really is. And what good mothering versus bad mothering looks like. You're going to be the damn example of it. But you did this to yourself. It's because I've turned to the assembly, you see. That is the greater collection of people around me that we form a society together. Don't we? Furthermore, there'll be additional consequences too. How many things have transpired here that seem to transgress the fucking law? Very interesting. Wait. Does my mom want to be magically exempt from me going to Caesar for any reason? I've sued her once before for her making false statements to doctors that were not correct. The suit was thrown out on a technicality. You'd think someone in that position would have learned by dodging a bullet by the skin of their teeth that they should actually really fucking not even come close to letting something like that happen again. But psychopaths are the only class that respond in a different way and don't reflexively adjust until greater, like huge classes of unimaginable consequences have to rain down repeatedly over and over until the lizard brain finally gets reprogrammed. So, furthermore, there'll be additional consequences too. You will find out. That is the payment for dishonoring me today. Very good. Fucking everybody applause for me. Thank God this guy finally figured it out, how to stop letting his overly controlling mother fucking abuse him and control his life without consequence. Thank you, everybody. Way to go. God sees that you made an expression of a certain assurance or agreement today to me, to the fucking crowned man of the family, and that you then took it back for no valid reason. This is essentially called lying. Do you think he is happy with this? Or do you think he will use this, he will use the rest of us in this world with his blessing to collectively teach you the lesson in this big lesson teaching program you're participating in today? I don't want to hear from you if you have no genuine apologies for me. You blew your chance today because you ruined my fucking Christmas with this shit. To raise my blood pressure one fucking level is a fucking sin. On Christmas, you treat me like this? You sicko. I will show this conversation to other people. Witnesses, you see, so they can see and assess the matter of whether you appear to be acting correct or incorrect. Just read Matthew 18:16 over and over again so you understand why it is important to follow God's word and do what he says and not to ignore it. Ignoring God's word is a sin. I think we can both agree. But if they will not listen, take one or two others along. Who? You, accuser. You take one or two others along to that person, so that every matter may be established by the testimony of 2 or 3 witnesses. And I specify this to her. Note carefully the language. It is the accuser's prerogative to take 1 or 2 witnesses of his choice to the person who's the accused in order to work towards that constructive remedy. That prerogative belongs to the accuser and not to the one who is the accused wrongdoer. Do you disagree with what the Bible says? If not, then either obey it and conform to it, or otherwise admit that you want to proceed in violation of what Christ himself commanded. Those are your only 2 options. I have the right to bring whoever I choose to be our witnesses to our sprawy. That means our matters. It is not your moral right to deny this or to attempt to force your accuser to do something, anything really, that you want. You get it? But of course, no response. Because that's how much she respects her son. Someone teach this woman a lesson. I've said enough.